for us, it's going to be a relief. Opening up a new business when other businesses are closed, that's not I mean, it's a pretty nerve-wracking feeling.
A collection of small cabins being manufactured off-site will make up the Mount Lemon Hotel. Justin Hafner still plans to open this summer, even though there have been delays.
Some of these factories around the country have actually had to close because of COVID-19 outbreaks. So that actually has disrupted the supply chain a little bit.
He's hopeful because some closed factories have reopened, and his team has completed a lot of the excavation and foundation work already. But to be safe, they are not yet taking reservations.
It's the lifeblood of any business. But on the same token, we are scared to open it up for bookings when there may be delays outside of our control.
Hafner says he'll open up reservations as soon as he's confident in an exact date. Until then, he promises a getaway with plenty of social distance. Cabins will stand separately, and people will check in on their phones.
It should bring in a lot of business, I think. I think it'll be really cool. And everyone, families, couples, single people, I think it'll be fun for everyone.
Hafner says no one will be more excited about opening than him.
Surprise deliveries for our first guests, whether it's little wine bottles or little fudge packets from the general store.
Brian Brennan, KGUN 9, on your side.
Many to cope with depression in unhealthy ways. Megan Thompson reports on how people are coping and healthier ways experts say you can improve your mental health.
You've heard it many times before. It's all good in moderation.
I think it really depends on how much time in the day a person is engaging in those kinds of activities and what those activities are replacing.
But with a lot of time on our hands and a lot of us dealing with the stress separation causes, researchers say many are coping in ways that are actually crippling their mental health. The three most common: a rise in alcohol, drug use, longer time spent playing video games on phones or watching TV, and less time spent exercising and eating healthy.
Trying to know when my coping has kind of gone off the rails.
Dr. Jamie Bloodworth is ASU's Director of Masters of Counseling Training, and he says there is no one-size-fits-all formula for the perfect coping mechanism, but he says thinking of self-care is a good way to start finding what works for you.
Can I give myself a break and be nice to myself?
It's also critical that you check on your loved ones. But how can you recognize depression, anxiety, when you can only see them on video chat?
Looking for changes in the person's environment, looking for changes kind of in their hygiene.
When you notice those things, have a conversation with them that is not accusatory.
How are you doing? Are you okay? You seem different to me.
Dr. Bloodworth hopes some good can come out of a situation where we are all forced to stay home. He hopes anyone who feels embarrassed about seeking treatment can log on to do teletherapy.
I think there's real opportunity right now for people, who've been thinking about going into counseling to be able to do it more privately than they ever have.
Grappling with a global pandemic looks different to every individual, but Bloodworth thinks there is opportunity here for success.
Sometimes you can even come out of this stronger than you were before you went into it.
Megan Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona.
If you have a Rebound Arizona story to share, let us know at kgun9.com/rebound, or you can email us at rebound@kgun9.com. All right, let's go to Kyler Diggs, and he's working remotely as I am, but it's nice to be outside. It was really, really hot today, but we have a reprieve coming, right?
Yes, we do. Boy, that heat was really cranking this afternoon. But yes, there is some relief in the 7 days. We'll discuss a little bit later in the newscast. But right now, let's go outside where that sun is still shining brightly over the Tucson mountains. It's not giving us much relief, even getting lower in the horizon right now. It's We saw a high of 101 degrees, 90s from Nogales over to Sierra Vista, Wilcox, and Safford, 103 in Phoenix. We're going to crank it up even a little bit more tomorrow. Right now, it's still 97 degrees. Excessive heat warnings have already been posted for tomorrow. We're going to let you know how high the mercury will climb.
Yeah, be careful out there. All right, COVID-19 taking a toll on the beef industry. We talked to a cattle rancher and find out why demand is dropping and how that's affecting ranchers' bottom lines. You're watching KGO 9 on your side.
Coronavirus has tied up the beef industry from the ranchers all the way to the stores. Ranchers like John Ladd in Cochise County say falling demand means steers that used to sell for $1.60 a pound are going for $1 a pound, and that has ranchers breaking even or even falling behind.
When I saw the biggest decline in the price was when they shut the schools down. You look at the meat products that the schools were providing for the kids, lunch programs and all that.
The owner of Wilcox Livestock Auction says demand is down and there is the extra challenge of social distancing. Local cattlemen say the packing houses are the only part of the system making money, but their employees are getting sick and shutting plants down. At the University of Arizona Meat Lab, Dr. Sam Garcia says it'd be better to have more smaller packing plants so the loss of one huge plant will not create such a hit on supply. Triple digits today, but Kyler's looking for potentially dangerous heat tomorrow. Will we break a record? He'll have that answer. You're watching KGO 9 on your side.
Now, your first warning weather with Kyler Diggs.
Well, let's start out by stepping back outside. I know you may not want to. It has been hot out there the last couple of days, and I hope you could stay inside the air conditioning as much as possible, and you're going to want to do that tomorrow as well. This is a view looking to the north from Midtown Tucson, looking over the Catalina Mountains. A real pretty view out there this evening. It's going to be another warm night for us, coming off of a day where the mercury climbed up to 101 degrees this afternoon at the Tucson International Airport. We started out at 61. That wasn't bad. 88 and 57 are the averages, but notice how the record high for this day remains in the record books, 104 degrees back in 2017. One of our main concerns is how dry it is right now, and there it is in the numbers, 10 degrees on the dew point, 4% humidity. It's still 97 degrees at the airport with a light wind out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, clear skies, warm temperatures, not a lot of change here, but we do have some change in the forecast, as you will see. Right now, though, it's still in the 70s in the higher elevations, upper 90s, low 100s in the lower elevations. Rain moving into the southern Great Lakes, but for us in the southwest, it is again severe clear. But we did have that high pressure haze hanging around today, and we will have that tomorrow as this big, strong high pressure system parked off of Baja will park itself right over southern Arizona. That will give us some near record or record breaking heat. And that's why we've got excessive heat warnings in effect for most of the day tomorrow, where some temperatures to the west of Tucson could climb as high as 108 degrees. So the heat risk category tomorrow will be in the orange. That's moderate, so do take it easy out there. Try and stay inside the AC as much as you can. And remember to stay hydrated even if you are inside, because it is so dry right now. Going to try and change that over the weekend. Got some moisture moving in over southeastern Arizona as early as Friday. The problem is at this time of the year, you get mainly dry thunderstorms, which produce little in the way of rain, but a lot of gusty wind and some lightning. So we will have a close eye on everything as we go through the weekend because of the already elevated wildfire danger, and we certainly don't want any dry thunderstorms marching around the desert to add to that. So definitely a time to pay attention. And Overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping into the 50s and 60s. Again, not a whole lot of fluctuation here in the temperatures. Where we will see that is going into tomorrow, where temperatures will climb into the low 100s for most of us in the lower elevations. 105 is where we're headed tomorrow, which would break the old record of 104. We will see some 90s return just in time for the weekend. Val, I hope you got that air conditioner fixed.
Yes, thank goodness that I did. 4 days of that. Ooh, that is way too much. All right, thank you, Kyler. If you are sensitive to air pollution, the Pima County Environmental Quality Department is advising you to stay indoors due to high ozone levels. Now, to help the situation, drivers are being asked to reduce time on the road and idling their engines. Some Pima Aztecs football players are signing with the NFL as free agents. Coming up, Jason Barr speaks with them on their journey to this point and what teams they hope to play with. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
I'm Big Al with What's Open in Southern Arizona. Broadway Pizza Cafe is located at 4558 East Broadway near Swan. The Broadway Pizza Cafe has interesting titles for their specialty pizzas, names like the White Knight, Angry Hawaiian, the Bianca, Blanco, or the Rico Suave Pizza. Or you're welcome to build your own. Whole pizzas or buy the slice for lunch or dinner at Broadway Pizza Cafe, 322-5865, 322-5865, online menu at BroadwayPizzaCafe.com. And to see what else is open in Southern Arizona, visit our website, kgun9.com/open.
Now, KGUN 9 On Your Side Sports with Jason Barr.
It's the team that refuses to go away, and that's just fine. A year and a half after Pima football played its final game, two former Aztecs are signing on with NFL teams as undrafted free agents.
Wide receiver Jeff Cotton and running back Sergio Hoffman both strapped on their helmets for head coach Jim Monaco in 2015 and 16.
They came in and started a legacy of excellence in our program.
After graduating from Pima, Jeff Cotton would pick apart secondaries as wide receiver at Idaho.
And just my team in general, having the confidence in me and just always believing I could just dictate the game pretty much and help the team win.
Meanwhile, Sergio Hoffman was a running back at Portland State.
I kind of stepped into that leader role. I kind of lead the running back room a little bit. So it kind of helped me transition. I think it's going to really help me transition to the next level.
Now Jeff Cotton will try and make the Chargers, while Sergio Hoffman will be at Cardinals training camp.
Coach, how proud are you of these two players for what they've accomplished since they've left Pima?
You know, I take absolutely no credit for what they do. They have done an amazing job.
Actually, Cotton and Hoffman may not be the last of the Aztecs. Despite Pima football being discontinued at the end of 2018, there are still two more classes with players at four-year schools.
And that's a look at sports. I'm Jason Barr, KGUN 9.